Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And today, guys, I've been getting this question a lot for the last couple years, but we have a special tuner, Sonic Tune, and he answers this question: should you guys upgrade to a pure turbo on 9193 or an RT turbo 91 and 93? Pretty much, he answers this question. So, you guys, you already know what to do. Let's hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back to the channel. First thing I gotta say is shout out to my Boost in Motion family that have been hitting the like button, because that means you're subscribed to the channel. So thank you and so much. And if you've been hitting the like button but haven't been subscribed, what's going on, brothers? What's going on, sisters? Come on, show that love and representation. I really appreciate y'all. And if you're watching these videos and you know you're on and off watching my videos, but you haven't subscribed or hit the like, I appreciate you. Thank you for the view, but definitely subscribe and hit that bell notification, hit all. Anyway, guys, let's go. Let's talk about it. So if you're in the Q50, Q60, VR30 community, you already know there's something called upgraded turbos. These turbos just pretty much allow more volume of air to be compressed and pushed inside of the motor, which means more power, right? But most of the highest and quickest power are from pure turbos. Pure turbos use a larger cold side and hot side turbine, so it just flows more amount of exhaust and air. Cool. Now RT turbos, they only upgrade the cold side, which means they give more volume of air on that side, but they still have the same spool speed of the hot side. Usually, when you go with the pure turbo, it doesn't spin up as quickly on 91 and 93 fuel, pretty much lower octane fuel. When you talk about ethanol, that's a whole nother story. But I'm gonna go to the post that Mark from Sonic Tune pretty much wrote a write up about, because he's been dealing with people who want to go to like pure turbos and run on 91 and 93, and he's pretty much going to answer why you guys why some people have been having issues running 91 93 on pure turbos, because technically it's not as fast. Anyway, guys, let's go. Let's jump into it. So I'm gonna just do some reading. Don't make fun of me. Anyways, Pure Stage 2 turbos and pump gas. Figured I'll clear up some stuff with the regards of Pure Stage 2s when running 91 or 93 fuel. This is completely different when running ethanol, which is explained later in the post. Someone posted earlier this week about an issue they were having with his setup on pump gas. A lot of people were quick to blame the tuner. It wasn't me, but someone who is more compatible. Now, the issue is not with his tuner, but it's with the design of the turbo itself. They are basically modified turbos in a stock, a mostly ported shell. The wheels are much bigger than stock, and the center sections are much stronger, but the wastegate port and flapper door are the same stock size. Now, for anyone who wants to know what a wastegate is, wastegate pretty much just relieve a lot of the excess exhaust gas. This allows the turbines to spin slower because you don't want turbo surge. All right. For those who are unsure how turbo works, the wastegate port is an exhaust bypass that routes the exhaust gases away from the turbine housing wheel to limit and control boost. Since the turbos are driven by exhaust gases, the wastegate is an exhaust gas valve. The more the bypass door is open, the more exhaust gases get routed away from the turbo, helping it keeping the boost down. Okay, the more the door is closed, the more heat exhaust gets routed to the turbine to assist in spooling up and making more boost. These cars have full electric wastegates. 0 millimeter is fully closed and 8 is fully opened. Now, these cars have a full electronic. Oh, okay. The idea is to keep them closed as long as possible to assist in spooling. The turbo up, then opening them as a boost approaches the target boost in such way that it prevents it from over boosting. Now, this is what you guys talk about, boost spikes and stuff like that. All right. So knowing that this car pretty much is inefficient of relieving the amount of excess exhaust gases, right? This is why, well, he'll break it down. I want to, I'll just finish off. I'll recap at the end. Okay, so the wastegate ports on these cars are too small. Okay, I think I already answered that. So the wastegate ports on these cars are too small. And in order to run pump gas safely, timing needs to be very low. The side effect of very low timing in excessive heat and exhaust energy in the turbine housing, right? Now, increasing the heat also increases the exhaust gas's velocity. Hot gas expands, which also affects spool. The issue with these turbos is when on pump gas 91 or 93, the timing is so low that the exhaust heat is so high, causing the turbos to overspool, or really in this case spool up very fast, right? The wastegate port is just too small and unable to bleed off enough exhaust gases to keep the boost in check. This causes an overboost condition. On the other hand, the reasons, so that kind of the guys that you know already. Boom. Well, if the turbo is spooling up very quick, why can't you just control it? Because the wastegate valve is just too small. Like for them to try to modulate, I don't know if I'm using the right word. Try to adjust the electronic gates to open up. By that time, the turbo could be spooling up to 250, 3,000, 300,000 RPM. In that case, with all that excessive heat, can destroy your turbo. Too much heat, it will destroy the turbo seals on 91 and 93. Cool. Um, on the other hand, the reason the turbos are so laggy, people been complaining that on pure turbos, you get a lot of lag. It's like when you hit it, you don't get instantaneous power, such as if you're on stock turbos, because the turbo wheel is bigger, so it has to take some while to spin. But also, it's because in order to keep the heavy wheels from just taking off and over boosting, which they will do regardless, the gates need to be fully open for most, if not all, the rev range. He just said it there. Pretty much when you floor it, the exhaust valves are open, and literally you're not getting the instantaneous power that you would have get with a regular stock turbo, not a modified one, right? Um, so you get a turbo that takes forever to spool up, and once it starts spinning, it goes to the moon, adding a higher flowing of adding a higher flowing 3-inch exhaust, and the problem would get even worse as this will speed up the wheels even farther without the ability of slowing them down. See, we don't have an external wastegate. We have internal wastegates that's pretty much not efficient because it wasn't designed to run at higher amount of psi, at least on an upgraded turbo, such as a pure way upgrades the exhaust and cold side. As soon as these things okay, so as soon as these things go on ethanol, it's a completely different story though. The timing changes are so substantial that the turbo starts to work beautifully. The gates get to actually close early on, bringing down the boost much faster because the timing is so much higher. The EGT, or the exhaust gas temperature, and the exhaust gas velocity goes way down and allows the wastegate exhaust gas to properly control boost. Pretty much, ethanol is just better. Okay, that's it. It's just easier. Usually, ethanol does have a cooling effect, and they run the different amount of timing when they run on ethanol. It doesn't get the excessive amount of heat that would come from running 91 and 93 on a very low timing. So technically, cooler exhaust gases, uh, then they can control the amount of exhaust flow from the wastegates, which means it can control the amount of boost in pretty much a happier car, right? So some of you guys got to this part. All right, boost. So basically, Mark from Sonic Tune says, if I'm putting pure turbos and I'm running 91, 93, I can run it, but I will lose some of the responsiveness compared to a full stock turbo frame. For full stock turbos, yes, you will lose the responsiveness because you have two bigger wheels and they have to pretty much modulate the uh I gotta say adjust the car for the 91 93. So then boost. So what are my alternatives? I don't want to run ethanol. I don't want to run ethanol. I want to run 91 93. All right. So that's where RT turbos, in my personal opinion, come right into play, right? Remember, the RT turbos use a larger turbo house, a larger turbine for the cold side. But for the hot side, it's the same stock one. So you're pretty much running on very similar boost file or boost map. I would assume, but don't beat me up in the comments, guys, because the hot side is still the same. So you still have the same spool up time. They just got to make adjustments for the amount of power and fuel because you're just adding more air. So they just technically just have to add more fuel. So it's a lot more easier for them to adjust on a RT turbo because they technically just have to make a couple of changes and that's really it. You'll still get the same responsiveness as if you're on stock turbo, but then you'll have the additional volume of air coming from the cold side turbo wheel, which will give you that 500 wheel territory. If anyone's watching, RT turbos, stage one, not the upgrade. I think it's stage one, stage two. I don't know anything about these freaking stages. It's just if it's the cold side upgraded turbine, usually you'll be right around that 500, 510 wheel horsepower. I've actually seen even higher than that in the last year, but you just know you're making 500 wheel on 93 and above. So with your typical bolt-ons, and that's pretty much it. You can go higher than that. I know I've not seen like 540 on 90, 530 to 540 on 93 and regular bolt-ons. So yeah, you can do that, and that's your happy medium. If you guys want to go with that. And then if you choose to go with ethanol down the line, that's actually pretty good too, because if you choose to go ethanol, I believe the stock turbo record on RT turbos is somewhere low 600s. I believe it's somewhere low 600s. Is either I think Go Racebox might have done that some time ago. So I think it was like 620 wheels. Someone will comment below what's the turbo record on 93 on RT turbos or ethanol one, but I know it's like 610, 620, which is really good. But that's when you're really pushing the turbos. And also on top of that, they're gonna get really hot because once again, you're really pushing those things to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So nonetheless, this helps you guys choose if you want to run 91, 93 on a pure turbo. In this case, shout out to Sonic Tuned. I think you guys should pass on this. Whoa, I feel like I got a lot shorter sitting in the shed. I feel like I got a lot shorter. But nonetheless, damn, I really did. Nonetheless, I would recommend if you want to run on 91, 93 fuel and you know you're not going to run ethanol, definitely go with a RT turbo. That's it. If you know that you're going to be running an E30 mix and up, that's what you're going to be doing, then, and you're going to be running ethanol enough, then go with the pure turbo upgrade. But if you're going to be running majority of the time 91, 93, it doesn't make sense to get a pure turbo. This doesn't make sense. Just go on RT and call it a day. But outside of it, guys, we have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Oh, shit. I didn't even press fucking record. Man. Wait, I did. Oh, shit. Right there. I'm looking at the wrong video. Outside of guys, you have a good day. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for always banging with your boy Boost. Shout out to Sonic Tune for making that small pretty much letter that we need to know because most of us don't know what we're doing, including myself. So definitely tap in with Sonic Tune. Much love. And also don't forget Racebox. Oh, god damn it. I want to drop the hat. Don't forget Racebox, man. Much love to Hussein, Alex, and the whole family. These guys putting out the information out there. So otherwise than that, guys, you have a good day. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my